Alright, welcome back to the installation of the stove. I picked up the T section of the, what's it called?
I don't know what it's called, a pipe.
That's right.
It's a pipe. It's a pipe fitting.
T adapter.
There you go. Yes. Appliance.
So we picked it up, and manual says we need to have 6 inches here and 6 inches here.
So of course we didn't account for that in our project here.
Yeah, we didn't account for this thing. I did, but I didn't realize how far this was going to stick out.
Yeah, the point was to have the stove centered in our platform here. That was the plan.
So when we put this thing 6 inches, the pipe 6 inches from the wall, it's nowhere near
Nope.
centered. And
we have little kids and a dog, and we're going to run into this thing a lot.
the hottest parts are the top and the front door. And so the wife would just like to leave it here, because the other option that we come up with,
It's time. It's time consuming. We already put a lot of time into this, and to make it changes, it's like, ah.
okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to move it to where it would be if we move the walls, because our option is to extend this out here. Move, Pepper. Pepper, move.
Well, where the wood is,
Yeah.
put it back out to the carpet.
Yeah, move it out to where the edge of the carpet is. And the other, and then also take this wall here and move it 6 inches that direction.
So we lose seating space
So there's a little, yeah, we lose a little bit of seating space.
and storage.
And the other bad thing would be that there will be a 6 inch. Right now we have our center stone
Right.
on both of them in the center.
Yeah.
And if we move this wall here 6 inches that way, this one will not be in the center anymore.
And if we move this out, this won't be the center either.
Right. So, and then also we were planning on down the floor here, the base, having four tile slates, and now we'll have a 6 inch gap this way and whatever gappage this is here.
Gappage?
Gappage.
Like that word.
Yeah.
Gappage. Gappage. Word
So
for the day.
we'll have to figure out some way to make it look aesthetically pleasing
Yeah, to a woman or a man?
to a woman.
Let's differentiate between a man's perspective and a woman's perspective here.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera and move the stove to where it would approximately be if we do all the other arrangements.
The joys of DIY.
Yes. All right, so if we move the base out, the base will be right about there. Approximately, that's where the pipe would be. There, and just got to move that wall 6 inches that way.
Got to use your imagination. Move the wall because it doesn't look right. I don't like it. It's weird.
So,
I mean, I like having a bigger footprint in the front of the stove, and I like it farther from the door, but
well, you would be able to see this.
I think it looks stupid.
You'd be able to see this tile over here more.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hidden behind the stove. So, I think that's the way I'm leaning. That's the way I want to do it. And we asked biased opinion of the oldest son living at home, and
Son.
oldest son. That's why I said son.
Yeah, not a daughter.
And he said he recommended going this way too, because he said there'd be more room between the door
Yeah.
and the stove.
Traitor.
So I'm gonna start cutting and moving. I'm really hoping that I don't have to cut this here. I'll just be able to move these pieces of wood that are attached to the board where I can't get to, and just reattach it, like reattach them to the wall, or reattach them to the stuff that I'm leaving.
So FYI, it's like a recipe. Make sure you have all your parts available when you do construction. Just like when you go cook a menu or your
It's
recipe.
because we didn't have flour when I made that last loaf of bread. Doesn't you have to? All right, we'll bring it back. All right, well, I've got our wood burning stove pad made bigger now, and you can see we're going to go and put stone right back in those two areas there. We'll just break it up like the rest of it and match it in. My next step is I'm going to put the stove back on place, put it where I believe it needs to be, measure it all out, and get ready to drill a hole for the fresh air intake. Alright, so I've got it in place. I think it looks pretty good. Guess I can put my other pipe on. Alright, so I've got my other pipe on. I think it looks pretty good there. We still haven't decided what we're going to do about putting stone at the bottom along the base there. We are considering about putting stone along this here too, kind of like we did over there by the shoes. Still need to put stone back here in the back where we made it wider. But yeah, we're getting closer. The rest of the pipe should be in not next week, but the week after this.
Not soon enough.
So today is, well, yesterday was Halloween, so today was November 1st. Today's November.
Usually it comes after Halloween.
Yeah, it's November 1st today. Yeah. Tired. I put plastic on all the windows today. It's snowing out. So yep, I guess our next step here, we're gonna buy pipe for the air intake down in here. And then once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and secure the wood and secure the backer board, hardy board. And we're still trying to decide if we want to mount the stove there and put the stone around it, or put the stone down and put the stove on top of the stone. So we're still trying to decide which way to go. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.